Well, at a guess, I reckon there you are on the end of the Zoom link, which is the lovely Rita Trotter. Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, very good. The health and fitness coach and guru extravaganza at your service. I just made that up. I thought that sounded quite good.
Sounds good. It sounds good, right?
I mean, could you be an extravaganza, or are you just extravagant?
I'm not sure I'm either, really.
Right, okay, that's good. That's fair enough. That's perfect for this morning. All right, so it is Tuesday morning. It's Fresh Gold Radio, and we're live with Rita at the moment, who's in her little den, her little office, where everything happens, and we can talk about today's subject, which you say is leisure activities.
Yeah. So why? Purely because they're fun, and in this particular society and culture, we don't seem to enjoy them as much as they should maybe have a part in our lives. So I've spoken to, a lot of people and just asked them, what do you do just for fun, right? For no other reason apart from fun. And then the answers usually come back with, I go, maybe some people go to the gym. Maybe some people say, I cook healthy meals and things like that, because, it's within the realm of health and fitness. I'm talking to them about it. But that's for a purpose, right? You're going to have to forgive the noise. There's a train about to go past.
Yeah,
and the
don't worry about that.
It's blooming boiling. That's for a purpose. You're going to the gym for a purpose. Most people. So why? Because you love the gym? Oh, no, because I want to get fit, or I want to get strong, or I want to lose weight, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Not because they absolutely love it. And I'll rephrase it. So what do you do? Just because you enjoy, because you love, because it gives you a spark. And most people look completely stumped at the question. And then they'll come up with something along the lines of, I'll go for a drink with my friends. Okay, cool. So alcohol. Anything else? And usually we don't really get very far. So it was something that I found quite curious, because in most cultures it's been scientifically proven that having hobbies or leisure activities which serve no purpose other than the doing of them creates more neural pathways, creates a better balanced, de-stressed society, and in general is better for our health, both mentally and physically. Yet in this society, hobbies are almost seen as a waste of time. Why would I do something that isn't earning me money, isn't getting on top of my health, isn't helping my children or my family? They're almost seen as a sort of, I think someone used the phrase the guilty pleasure. Well, why should we feel guilty about having fun and enjoying ourselves? So
surely that's not part of who we are, isn't it? We've got a fun element, but there's got to be some humour. Years ago, I was speaking to a lady, a phlebotomist actually, who was taking some blood from me the other day, and we got talking about fun, and she says that it's good to have a great sense of humour no matter what you're doing, because it actually detracts from some of the mundane stuff. And we got talked about years ago. There used to be a little magazine out, Reader's Digest, and put in there, laughter is the best medicine. So are you suggesting then, and I think it's we know the answer, that having fun and having a bit of amusement is good for the health?
Absolutely. Otherwise, what's the point? We've got to, having the ability to have fun for no other reason but for doing it allows us to remain present in what we're doing. So most people say, I haven't got a good work-life balance. That'll be a complaint that you'll often hear, which is quite a sort of generic phrase. What does that actually mean? Well, having true balance is actually the ability to be present in whatever you're doing. So someone might work only 3 days a week, but if for the other 4 days a week, they spend the whole time thinking about work, what's going wrong, what might happen, what they need to do, etc., then there's no balance. They haven't had any time being present in the moment of being off. That's not balanced, even though on paper it looks like it is.
Yeah.
And it's the same with leisure activities. We need to have a balance where we're able to do something and be truly present in it. Most people that you meet, if you ask them, you know, even if they say they'll watch television, that might be something that they do and they enjoy it, they'll usually be doing something else. They'll be scrolling on Facebook, or they'll be replying to emails. They'll be doing something other. Even when it comes to reading a book, a lot of people you'll see reading a book, but they're listening to the radio at the same time.
Right, multitasking, yeah.
Multitasking. So you're not present in any single one thing that you're doing, which means your brain isn't being given that respite that it needs. And so it's constantly on overdrive and working, which is why, you know, we're so exhausted, because we're being bombarded with stuff and information from every single place. So one of the best things we can do for our mental and physical health is to be present in an activity just for the sake of it, you know. I had a client who loved, still does, but hadn't done it for so long, horse riding. And she kept saying, oh, I need to go back to horse riding because, you know, it helps tone the core and it's strengthening. It is hard work. And I was like, well, why is that the reason? Why can't you just go back to horse riding because you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And, oh, well, I guess if I say that, it just sounds like it's kind of unproductive. And that's the culture that we live in. Everything has to be done for productivity. We've kind of been made into little worker ants, where everything you do must be for a reason. It must tick off a box. It must be productive for yourself, your family, or for society. No, it can just be fun. And sometimes there are activities that people stop doing because they put an outcome, a productivity goal on it, and therefore it becomes less enjoyable. And if you stripped away that need for a goal-orientated task and just said, do it for the sake of it, it becomes easier and more natural. And, you know, I had another client who said, I just can't walk. What do you mean you can't walk? Well, I haven't got an hour a day to walk. You know, I can't lose weight because I just haven't got an hour a day to walk. Like, do you like walking? Yeah, I love walking. I just can't do it. Why does it need to be for an hour a day? Because she had it in her head that she had to walk for an hour a day because that was the only way she was going to start to lose weight. Well, just walk because you want to walk. Just 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Go around the block. It doesn't have to have a goal. The goals are just consequential, you know, byproducts.
What would you say to people who, I mean, I've come across a number of people who have their day organised. For instance, they get up maybe at 5 o'clock and everything is sequential. Everything is A goes to B, goes to C, and everything is set out that way. And every day has a structure. Now, yes, people in business like yourself, you have a structure of knowing what you've got to do at certain times. But going on the premise that you say that leisure is important, and yes, it is, at what point do people think, just a minute, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do something else. Would you say that the being too regimented and too structurally organised is detrimental because you know what's coming up at any given time? There's no element of I don't know, spontaneity within their life?
It needs to be a balance of both. Structure and routine is necessary for the most fundamental human need, which is certainty. There are 6 human needs, and every single person on this planet, the fundamental human need is certainty, because certainty equals safety, and pretty much everybody is looking for safety in life. So we do need structure to a point to create certainty and safety for each of us. We are certain that we go to work at this time and we finish, or we're certain that the sun rises and the sun sets. That creates an element of known safety. However, when we become too regimented, it comes out of fear of losing control. And that's not something superficial. That comes from somewhere deep rooted. If you are so structured that it's become a crutch, then it's no longer serving you. It's creating a hindrance, because anything out of that structure becomes scary and out of control, and it causes a flap and a spiral of negativity. So we need a balance of both, and most people in life are far too structured due to so many fears and anxieties swirling around their head, that the one thing that they can control is their own routine. So it usually comes out of a sort of a place of pain rather than a place of pleasure. So,
something from the past maybe that may have inflicted some kind of mental bruising, if you will. Well, what about the people then who go the other way, in terms of, you mentioned, oh yes, we go to work, they go to work at this time, that time, blah, blah, blah. But is it possible that some people may have that fear within inside them, that they immerse themselves in work so as not to venture outside those lines?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll make this my last point because I've just noticed the time, and I do have a client at 9:30. So on that, in terms of work, most people chuck themselves into work mainly based out of a need to distract themselves. So if we feel unfulfilled in life and we don't know how to fulfill that need, then we tend to focus on whatever's easy. And although most people say that work is hard, it isn't. Doing is easy. You can do a task and it's a relatively simple thing. Actually taking the time to work out who you want to be, why, and what you enjoy, what inspires you, is a lot tougher than just doing the day-to-day tasks. So most people throw themselves into work to distract from something.
Yeah. All right, good. Just on a final note then, Hugh has just been on. He says his Google activities just came up, and apparently, speaking about walking, he's walked over 40 miles in June, apparently. And Ray's been on. He said he's got leisure activity. He makes things. So there we are. So
love it. He can make me a mug. I need some more mugs.
You need some more mugs, do you?
If anyone wants to make me a mug, I'd more than happily open up for that.
Okay, all right. Well, you look at this mug here because it's now going. Listen, Rita, you have a great day, and we'll speak to you next week. And meanwhile, we'll ask everyone else to take it easy. I think is a good idea.
Absolutely.
You take care. Right. Thanks very much. Ta-da. Bye-bye. That's Rita.